locations. And you'll notice that since I'm using hexing pants, I'm trying to go to orb walk here and then just hit that sucker. And you notice I can hit that from really far away and it still instantly activates. And here, I'm going to spam spacebar as much as possible, spamming, clicking, and going back to town. And of course somebody's going to be here to talk with these people, and then instantly jump into the Khazra Den, which is... And yes, I should try and memorize these while I'm doing this run, all the individual people to talk with at what times. So you're going to the cemetery and the Khazra Den. So now this is one of the first places where I can show you optimal methods on a standardized map. So this is something that I want to show you guys a couple of different areas in the game. So first, we're going to try and estimate what the map is going to look like. So the map is just about static. So you'll notice it goes down here, then it goes up a little bit in, then it goes, maybe a bit too big, so let's just try and narrow it down a bit. It goes up here, there's a little hump up there, sometimes there's a house right here, then it comes back down. Scoundrel is that way, and then it's got the path, and it comes down here. Something like that. So this is going to be the map that you see all the time, and obviously there's the Weeping Hollow. So, possible locations for the Khazra Den to spawn. One is here, one is here, one is here. One is here, one is here, one is here, and I think there's, I forget exactly in here, but there's at least 2 others in there. But the main point that I'm going to show you guys is the ones I do remember, I remember for a reason, and that's because of the optimal route that I'm going to be taking. You go a little bit left, you pop up. Khazra Den's not there, you just keep going left, you pop up. Keep going left, you hit that wall, you go up, you pop down, you pop right. And it's not there, you keep going, you pop right, and then you kind of go on an inside curve, and then you go in this direction. And if it just so happens to be one of those last suckers, then if it's here, if it's here, if it's here, if it's here, maybe you missed it, it was over there or something, don't really worry about it. The way is optimal pathing. So this way we reduce the RNG as much as possible by taking a path around the map, which is generally static, that takes the least amount of time to hit the most amount of spawn possible locations. So with this route, you're going to be heading it by here about 70% of the time. And that is good enough for me, because it could be here, could be here, could be here, and you save yourself a bunch of time instead of zigzagging across the screen, and it looks like I'm trying to play a balloons game or something. So you're going to want to find this kind of optimal path and as much stuff as possible. And that's what I'm going to try and demonstrate, and that's what I'm going to try and explain to you guys. So we're going to pop a little bit up here, and Khazra Den's not there. So now we're going to go a little bit up here, Khazra Den's not there, and now we're going to start traveling upward. So now we're going to go up here, a little bit right, pop over, Khazra Den's not there. Oh, that could have been. No, that's the waypoint. Sorry. We're going to pop left, left. Now we hit the topper end, so we hook around to the right, and notice that now we're getting into some of the other tile mechanisms. And we missed it, so now we just run back into the center and kind of do a zigzag across and see where exactly we missed it. And look at that, it's in the center. One of those locations I mentioned, that is going to be one of your last attempts. But look at the map that we've uncovered, look at the optimization path that we have taken, and just for future measure, that's going to be the waypoint, so we're going to have to go that direction when we cut back from finding the sword piece. So if you notice in this map, I've hit a bunch of spawns. I've hit there, I've hit there, I've hit there, I've hit there, there, and there, and it wasn't there because the waypoint was there, and then we just curved right back in. So I didn't waste my time going up and down and up and down and up and down, or zigzagging and trying to do everything I could. But instead, I went on an optimal path to minimize RNG, and that's what you're going to notice in this kind of guide. The purpose of this guide is to show you minimal optimization paths so that you don't have to waste time on parts of the map which are somewhat random, but mostly static. And so here again, you're going to try and spam spacebar. Not everything is going to be skippable. So we're just going to wait and kill stuff. So we're going to want to have everybody, we're going to have one town person, you're going to have 2 people waiting at the Scoundrel. And again, I'll talk about that in the group run. I keep having nothing to talk about, so I feel like I need to talk about something. So we're going to talk with this glowing sword piece, go back to town. So if you notice at this point, my hatred and discipline haven't been an issue because I've been stopping to talk frequently, but I'm also trying to demonstrate the tiles. And so because of that, it doesn't look like, well, what if you actually were to run this? Would you run a discipline hatred then? Well, look at all the times I'm kind of stopped. All that time I'm reducing my cooldowns, all that time I'm regenerating resource, and all that good stuff. So now we just kind of talk, we kill stuff, we talk some more, we kill stuff, and once again, if you want to find the group method that I use, go watch some of my group videos. But this is going to be a solo run, so I'm going to focus on some of the solo stuff. So here, you do need to collect both of the sword pieces before doing much. There is a wizard. If you were a wizard, you can port straight down. And for some reason, I That's right, I got my macro turned on, so my left click was bound to force move. So quickly turn my macro off, and did I just mess up my game? I think I did. Anyway, we'll get to that in a bit. So talk with Alaric, come over here. And so this is another place that I want to show you. Let me just get to the entrance real quick, and here's the entrance. Okay, so this place is also static, and we're just going to discuss this a lot. Not a lot. So this is much smaller of an area. Let's go ahead and get a bit of colors. This is a much smaller area. It doesn't have much to it, and it's just basically circular. There's that little ring in the center, and so there are two paths to take. The first path is up, a little bit upright, and go this way. The other path is upright, and you're going to kind of hug that wall and go this way. The main locations are, this is mostly if you do it a split. This can go up here, sometimes there, and sometimes right there. This sometimes here, sometimes once in a while up there, but I found it's more common to be in this general vicinity. And so you're going to have this kind of map split. So you're going to have one up to the upper left and one to the bottom right. So those are going to be your main locations. Now, which way is optimal? I've actually found it's easier to go up, but it's harder to go down. And so I don't do that. I go right, which is normal difficulty, and then typically when doing so, you can go up here, hit those, and it's easy enough. So the way that I tend to do it is I tend to go right. So I go right first, hit this one, come back around, hit this guy, find it, and then here's a mistake that I sometimes make when doing my solo runs. I'll demonstrate it in a bit, and I missed the up path, and it was right here. So we're just going to quickly, once again, kill these. Not kill, we're going to collect and run out, which is going to have the vague appearance of killing because of all the vaults and the lightnings and stuff. So, now we're going to go to the upper left portion of the map and get this guy. So, that's just about optimal. Again, this map is so small that there's not really much to be had. And sometimes what I forget here is sometimes I'll go back to town. Don't go back to town, just M, or at least my map is M, and then go to Drowned Temple. Festering Woods, of course you could, but Drowned Temple is where you want to go. And it takes you right back here. If you're close enough, maybe you might be faster than the 3-second teleport and the half additional load, but we don't know. And there is a way, there is a bug where you can actually hit this pedestal and like run down to the other pedestal. I haven't been able to figure out that bug, but if possible that would save you about 2 to 3 seconds of standing there. So if somebody wants to notify me of how to perform that bug, then I'd be greatly appreciated. That's a 2-second save on every attempt, because you can basically run while putting up both the first beacon, and you can run to the second beacon at the same time. And now here, the next place to go is the ferry, so you're going to have people there. 2 people in town, no, 1 person in town, 2 people at the ferry, and 1 person where I am killing this thing. And so once again, obviously by this point, we have by far failed the run. If I was doing this solo, but I'm demonstrating this so that you guys can know the tiles. And this way I don't have to go to each individual tile on an adventure game and then say, okay, well, if I do this and do that, and what if I miss a tile, what if I don't explain something properly, you know, all that kind of stuff. So let's just go through the game and explain things along the way. What's next? So this is another really fun place to be if you're doing a group. Multi-shot wizard, as you can see, I just one-shot the whole place, basically. Technically 3-shot. So the next guy spawns there, then the berserkers spawn right down here. So you kill these berserkers, wait for this guy to come up, and then just start spamming spacebar. So events like that you should memorize. It's very easy. And then just things like this, go into here. Make sure as one of the options for your settings that you have events disabled, or event skip turned on, because you don't want to have to spacebar out of every event when doing this kind of run. And you've probably been sick of the campaign doing it so